Hello and welcome, my name is Parky and today we're playing some more Plague Inc. Evolved. Meet me back to another official scenario, the Sovereign Default. Poor little piggy bank, he's all cracked in half. A bit like the brains of all the victims we've taken over. Oh god, just get on with it. A failure to extend the debt ceiling in the US triggers a major financial rebalancing. A few countries benefit, but most suffer catastrophic damage to their economies, with knock-on impacts on healthcare and research capabilities. Can things get any worse? They always ask that question. Of course they can get worse. That's the whole point of this game. So we're going to play as a Neurax worm. The Neurax worm has been very helpful recently, and I think yet again it's going to be the one that's going to help us to win. So unfortunately I've still not unlocked any of those, but what we are going to do is we're going to turn this into a Terrasite, because I think it's going to be more useful. We're also going to go for Hydrophile, and we'll also go for Symptostasis, because why not? Okay, let's do this. And we're going to play on normal, and we're going to call it the Worm. It's always going to be the worm of something, the worm of debt. There we go. Because that worm, you do not want the worm of debt crawling into your brain. You're a Neurax worm. To win you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out all humans in the ultimate plague. So we're actually going to go for India again. I know it's very boring, India, straight away, but it's the thing we like the most. So again, as normal, we're going to go for eggs 1 and 2. And then after this, I think I'm probably going to go for Concertia Locomotion. And then we're going to get Undulatory Locomotion, because if you get one locomotion you need both of them. The Worm of Debt has infected its first human. Weak but used to hot temperatures, it must evolve using DNA points to infect more people. We know the drill. So what we're going to do is we're going to speed this up quickly. The Worm of Debt is a Neurax worm, undiscovered for thousands of years. Now humans have entered its natural habitat and given it the means to spread. Now would this have any effect in reality? In the past, if it was actually the Worm of Debt? I suppose it isn't actually the worm causing the debt. I suppose that is a clear thing that we need to state straight away. London Olympics mystery. Mystery still surrounds the decision to postpone the London Olympics. Organisers promise it will happen soon, but no real reason has been given for the change, because we're running into debt problems. But let's go for Undulatory Locomotion. Right, so now I've got all of these. I think I'm going to go for the genetic swap, because this is going to basically increase the chance of mutation, which hopefully in the scheme of things will help reduce the prices in terms of the symptoms that we're going to have to buy. So we're going to grab that, and also it's going to unlock some of these other things, which we are going to get eventually, like the mutative regeneration. But I think first of all, we're going to go for these. So we need 11 DNA points until we can get into some more of these transmissions. The funky transmissions, we're going to get rat first, then I think we might go for insect next, which is also going to cost 11. So obviously the major impact of this is that probably research is going to be slower, especially in the countries that are poorer to start with. So having started in India, it's probably a fair chance to say that they're not going to discover it for a little while longer, and if they do, any research they're going to do is not going to be that great. Korean border guards plan strike. 50,000 border guards are threatening to strike and disrupt traffic in former DMZ due to poor employment prospects. Okay, so let's stick around for a little bit longer. We're starting to spread into a lot of other countries now, which is incredibly helpful. I'm going to go for bird 1 next, which can require 13 DNA. And once we've got that, we're going to then go for maybe some cold resist, because I feel as though cold resist is always what holds us back a little bit in this plan. This plan of mine, which is always a bit dodgy. So we're going to go for that. We could even go for water. I mean, 15 DNA, that might be worth going for first. We haven't really spread into any of the cold countries yet, so they've found it in a checkup. We've spread to the UK as well, which is going to make things a bit trickier for us. I think we're just going to go for cold resistance. It's only 6 DNA, and to have it early on is probably going to be more of a bane. More of a boon instead of a bane, I should say. I'm also going to get drug resistance 1, just to help with the spreading in the countries with the slightly better healthcare system. We probably don't need to worry too much about that, considering the whole point of this scenario is that there is a debt. So the healthcare in all countries are going to be slightly hindered. Not that it really matters too much, because, well, I don't know. It's going to help us gain the drug resistance, let's put it that way. Okay, so now we've got that, I feel as though maybe we should go for... Should we go for Air 2? Air 2 sounds good. The Worm of Debt's just another parasite. Scientists tell the public not to worry about the Worm of Debt. I feel as though that should be like the news headline for like a time of depression in the economy in general. Probably has been. The Worm of Debt has wiggled its way in again. Sounds horrible. Okay, so what do we actually need for this? 21. I keep spazzing in and out of the menu, but it's okay. So India has now started work on a cure. We're going to go for Air 2. I also feel as though we should go for some mutative regeneration. It's going to increase the chance of mutation, which would be good. We don't need to worry about buying any of these symptoms quite yet, because we want to get devotion to the worm. We need mass devotion to the worm. So what we could do actually is we could go for Trojan Plains a little bit earlier, because then we can start spreading in some of those more difficult to reach countries like Greenland. Thank God that came about very quickly. So we've got 34 DNA. I think we're going to go for maybe Cold 2. Should we go for Cold 2? I think Cold 2 is going to be useful. We're also going to go for Rodent 2, and then maybe Water 2. It's going to cost 25, but the rate we're getting new countries now, we probably don't need to worry too much. So we go, got Water 2 now. Are we going to go for Air 3? I feel to say it might be quite useful to do that. Although, having said that, it might be nice to get some mutations going on, because mutations are fun. So yeah, I think mutations, mutative regeneration 1 is the thing we're going to go for. We're also going to go for Bird 2, which is going to cost 28 DNA. Hopefully we'll get that fairly quickly. Now, have we got anywhere else that is a bit awkward? The Caribbean always seems a bit awkward, doesn't it? So we'll go for the Caribbean next, and after that, if Madagascar hasn't been infected, which it does look as if it has, then we'll go to there. Neural breach symptom mutated. So that's the first thing in the line of everything in terms of the symptoms that we've got here. So we're going to go for Bird 2. Then shall we go for this? Cerebral tendrils. We could just leave those for a little bit anyway, considering we might just randomly evolve those traits. I think we probably don't need to worry too much. We're going to go for Insect 2 though, and I feel as though maybe Water 2 would be good. Oh, Water 3 even. Water 3? I'm not sure. We'll hang around for a little bit though. Now, where haven't we got? Canada is infected. Iceland is also infected. Maybe we'll go for Sweden. Sweden seems to be a bit slow on the uptake of our new viruses. That's okay. Right, so we've got 33 DNA points. What else do we need here? I feel as though maybe we should go for Water 3. Water 3 sounds good. Yeah, sure, okay. We'll go for that. Do we want Corpse Feeder? I don't think we ever really have a need for Corpse Feeder. It's pretty standard in the way that you'd beat this. So we're going to stick with what we got. We could even go for Drug Resistance 2, but I feel as though maybe it's time to start going for some of these. We'll go for Immaturity, then we're going to go for Mania and round this way again. So we need 7 more DNA points, but we should be getting these fairly quickly. Okay, where haven't we gone yet? We've actually got Madagascar now, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Peru? We could go for Peru, or maybe Canada. Canada seems a bit slow on the uptake. Disturbing reports of the Worm of Debt. Scientists proved that the Worm of Debt could theoretically manipulate human thoughts to its advantage. More research is needed. Okay, we're on 13% of our research so far. We're going to go for Devotion next. That's going to cost 17. And after that, we're going to go for Transcendence. Everyone's starting to collect the earthworms, which is a lovely, lovely thing to do. Everyone needs a hobby. That's the thing, we've got the aggression symptom now, which is not really what we're going for. So maybe we should devolve that, although we don't actually have the points to do so. We're probably going to get quite a lot of points quite quickly. So I would like to just get rid of that if we can. Adoration would be nice, but we need 37 for Transcendence. Hopefully spending that 6 DNA hasn't really caused too many problems, because we do maybe need to get a few genetic reshuffles, which might be a bit of a problem. What is going on, Canada? You're really slow on the love of the worm. We've got Transcendence now. Transcendence is going to help us massively because everyone's going to start worshipping the worm even, not worship the worm. I think my brain cells have gone a bit wormy inside, but it's okay, right? So we're on 13 points now. I don't really know if there's anything else we need to buy. Saudi Arabia is the first to fall into anarchy due to the Worm of Debt. No cure research can take place. Okay, this is really wanting me to evolve the aggression symptom, isn't it? Whereas it has mutated again, but it's okay. We're on 46% research. I'm feeling as though, well, we need to get a genetic hardening anyway, at least. Is that cheaper? We'll get the genetic hardening. We'll get a genetic reshuffle as well, just to stave off that research speed. I think that sounds good. The infected worship the Worm of Debt. People infected with the Worm of Debt are reporting visions of the Rapture and glorious new overlord species. Well, the glorious new overlord species are the bankers in this scenario, and the visions of Rapture are the economic crisis. Oh dear, what political rubbish I'm talking about. Well, aside from that, I don't really think we're going to need another genetic reshuffle. If we do, it's going to cost us 25. 25 seems fine. Are there any other countries just hidden away that I haven't infected? It looks like I've got pretty much everyone. Italy screwed me over last time, so I'm feeling a bit worried about their presence, but I think it's literally just Canada. Don't know why Canada's so resistant. Well, they're not going to be resistant for long. Nuclear explosion in Norway. Huge nuclear explosion in Norway has released a vast cloud of radioactive particles. Cause unknown, but location suggests sabotage of nuclear power plant containment systems. And that is how Fallout 4 started. This is like the preamble to Fallout universe. I don't think it's actually that. It's probably more exciting than that. In fact, it most possibly always is. And actually, a lot of people are dead in Norway because of that. There's no healthy people on Earth. We might as well send some people to the nuclear fallout wasteland of Norway. Confusion symptom mutated. The worm of death has mutated and developed the confusion symptom without using DNA points. Wonderful. Well, we might as well. Shall we go for any of these other things? Symptoms, we'll go for adoration. Also go for psychosis, because why not? Might as well make everyone a bit mental before we win this. The worm of death enslaves humanity. The whole world worships the worm of death as their god and master. Efforts to cure the plague have ceased and humanity is entering a dark new future as a slave species. Oh dear. Well, at least we managed to do that one. That's a victory. And we only got 2 stars in that, though. I was very upset. I think you need to do it in under about 360 days. So maybe if we had a few of those better genes that we latched on at the start, we could have done that. But unfortunately, I've still not bothered to actually get those, which is maybe something I should consider doing. He says after basically completing the entire game and all the scenarios. But you know, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we're almost at the end of this list. We've got the swine flu next, and also volcanic ash, who cares, and xenophobia. All things that sound very horrifically bad. Volcanic ash I'm very interested in. That sounds like a cool one. It's like Mount Vesuvius all over again. And who cares? That just sounds ridiculous. And then once all of this is done, I'm going to head back to the main official campaign. Don't know if it's really official, but we're going to go back to campaign. What we're talking about. And finish off those last couple of the scenarios that we got there. But that's all for today. If you enjoyed the episode, please feel free to support in the comment section below. Also leave ratings and tell your friends. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, awkward goodbye. Wormy goodbye.